The new character Scholar in Elden Nightreign DLC can acquire new abilities by consuming and using consumables and items in the game. In this video, I'll be showing you every single thing that Scholar can unlock by consuming these items and by using them. Scholar's passive ability allows him to level up consumables by using them. Each consumable belongs to its own category. You level up consumable categories and acquire levels, up to 3 levels. On level 2, usually things will not be as noticeable. Level 2 will improve item handling, which usually improves the effectiveness of the item. Level 3 adds a secondary effect to the item. Starting with Boiled Crab, Level 2 grants a 5% increase to damage negation. Level 3 increases maximum HP by a whopping 30%. Same thing goes to Boiled Prawn. It grants a plus 5% increase to damage negation, and it also increases HP by 30%. Exalted Flesh at level 2 increases physical attack power by 1.3 times. At level 3, it increases your affinity damage by an additional 20%. Pickled Turtleneck increases your stamina regeneration at level 2. At level 3, it increases your maximum HP by 10% and increases your maximum stamina by 20%. Exalted Flesh and Pickled Turtleneck are some of the best items you can use. Gold Pickled Foul Foot at level 2 increases the amount of runes you get by 5 to 10%. At level 3, it grants item discovery effect from the Silver Pickled Foul Foot. Next up we have the Silver Pickled Foul Foot. At level 2, it increases the potency of item discovered by 5 to 10%. At level 3, it gains the ability to increase your rune gain, similar to the Gold Pickled Foul Foot. So for these two feat, you basically earn the same properties. So if you find a Silver Pickled Foul Foot at level 3, you'll gain additional runes as well as item discovery and vice versa. Boluses at level 2 restores 10 HP per tick. At level 3, it increases your physical damage negation by 5%. This applies to all boluses when consumed. Starlight Shards at level 2 increase the amount of FP regen by using the shard. At level 3, Starlight Shards increase maximum FP by 20%. The Flask of Crimson Tears at level 2 increases the amount of health regenerated by the flask. At level 3, you gain full HP regeneration. It also grants plus 100 maximum HP, plus 25 maximum FP, and plus 10 maximum stamina. All Flask of Tears have their own individual stat boost at level 2. For example, the Green Burst Crystal Tear increases your stamina recovery speed by 100%. All flasks, though, increase your stats, every single attribute that you have, by 5 times. So it adds plus 5 on all stats at level 3. So yeah, this is a really good thing to do early on. Purchase those flasks and just use them as soon as possible. Lightning Pots at level 2 have an increase in damage by 54%. At level 3, Lightning Pots upon impact will conjure a secondary lightning bolt that deals additional 121 damage. Magic Pots, on the other hand, will have a 21% damage increase at level 2, and at level 3, it conjures an additional Glintstone Pebble upon impact that deals 96 damage. Fire Pots have a damage increase by 70% at level 2. At level 3, it conjures Flames that linger when thrown that deals an additional 105 damage. The Fetid Pod increases the potency of the poison buildup. At level 3, it conjures a cloud of poison that expands from the point of impact. The Poison Pod increases its damage by 50%. At level 3, it conjures a poisonous cloud that expands from the point of impact that negates damage by 3% up to 21% damage reduced on enemies. Rancor Pot
also has a damage increase at level 2. At level 3, it spawns additional vengeful spirits and can knock back enemies. The Rot Pot has a damage increase at level 2. At level 3, it conjures a rot cloud that can expand from the point of impact. Sleep Pot at level 2 increases the radius of the affected area and increases the buildup of sleep by 20 per tick. At level 3, the Sleep Pot has an increased radius of affected area and increases buildup of sleep. It also restores 30 to 35% of FP for Nightfarers inside the Sleep Cloud. The Swarm Pot at level 2 grants increased size and buildup by 25%. At level 3, the Swarm Pot grants an increased size and buildup by 50%. And it also conjures up a Blood Puddle that speeds up rate of buildup. It also raises the damage by 3% up to 21%. The Volcano Pot at level 2 has an increased radius of affected area and increases buildup. At level 3, it leaves an area of magma that deals additional damage up to a total of 441 damage. The Holy Water Pot has an increase in damage by 80% at level 2. At level 3, it heals allies within the radius by 30% of their max HP. The Beast Lure Pot has an increase in radius at level 2. At level 3, it conjures a cloud of red alluring smoke that deals 38 damage per tick, up to a total of 609 damage over 16 ticks. The Beast Lure Pot also has an increase in range at level 2. At level 3, it conjures a cloud of red alluring smoke that deals 38 damage per tick. This is similar to the other lure. The Freezing Pot has also a damage increase at level 2. At level 3, it conjures ice crystals that deal 90 damage before exploding and deals an additional 175 damage, causing frostbite buildup. The Throwing Dagger at level 2 has an attack damage increase from 40 to 80. At level 3, it reduces enemy damage negation by 2% per hit up to 20%. So it takes about 4 to 5 knives to debuff an enemy down by 20%. The Kukri has an increased status buildup of bleed, level 2 of course. At level 3, it reduces enemy damage negation by 2% per hit up to 20%. This applies to all throwing daggers. The Crystal Dart increases damage by 50% at level 2. The Poison Bone Dart, it increases poison buildup at level 2. All knives cause a reduce in enemy damage negation by 2% per hit up to 20%. So once again, it's a good idea to level up knives early on and carry them if you want to debuff bosses. To be honest, this is a lot of micromanaging, so it might be a good idea to just stick to other stuff. But if you are really good and really fast at swapping between items, the knives are a really good thing to carry if you are a master of using consumable items. The Gravity Stone Fan has a larger AoE and pull at level 2. At level 3, leaves a pool of damage dealing gravity rock at the point of impact. The Gravity Stone Chunk gains the same properties of an AoE at level 2. At level 3, it pulls in enemies nearby before exploding. The Bewitching Branch at level 2 increases its AoE radius. At level 3, the Bewitching Branch will cause charmed allies to gain a plus 50% more damage. Now onto perfumes. The Uplifting Aromatic gives you a slight damage buff after and during the damage negation effect, so when you pop the bubble at level 2. At level 3, upon buffing, a strike will explode for 405 damage. The Iron Jar Aromatic will increase the damage negation at level 2. At level 3, will cause you to explode for 405 damage if hit. This applies to all perfumes. The Spark Aromatic increases the damage of the projectile by 528. At level 3, the damage increases to 635 per projectile with an additional hitbox. The Blood Boil Aromatic at level 2 increases the damage from 35% to 44%. At level 3, upon buffing, a strike will explode for 405 damage. The Acid Spray Mist increases its range of poison spread at level 2. At level 3, sparks are added to the mist, which explode after 2 seconds and deals 360 damage. The Poison Spray Mist increases status buildup at level 2. At level 3, sparks are added to the mist, which explode after 2 seconds and deals 360 damage. The Omen Baron at level 2, when used, it increases the damage to 49 per projectile. At level 3, the damage is increased to 75 per projectile. The Wraith Calling Bell receives a damage increase to 168 per projectile at level 2. At level 3, the Wraith Calling Bell will receive a whopping 200 damage increase per projectile. The Regal Omen Baron increases the damage to 42 per projectile at level 2. At level 3, the damage is increased to 54 per projectile. The Ancestral Infant's Head at level 2 increases the damage to 39 per tick. At level 3, the damage is increased to 50 per tick. All grease items will receive a 50% boost in duration at level 2. At level 3, they will all get a 30% damage increase affinity, except for the poison grease, which will add an additional status buildup by 33%. This applies to all the status effect greases. The shield grease increases the duration by 50%. So basically, you get a 100% boost at level 3 for the shield grease. But here's the good one. The Warming Stone increases the HP regen rate at level 2. At level 3, it is able to revive teammates slowly, and it also prevents the revive bar from progressing. It also receives a larger AoE radius and regenerates 35 HP per second. And there you have it. That is the complete guide to Scholar's BAGCRAFT ability in Elden Ring Nightreign's DLC, the Forsaken Hollows. Now, some of these are still to be 100% discovered, but essentially, this is pretty much 99% of everything that we know so far. If you know something that I don't know, let me know in the comments down below. But this is pretty much everything that we know so far. We will be updating the wiki with the link in the description down below with more information as we find it. So check the link in the description down below for a written guide, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe also.